This video is to show some improvements I've made to my forge. Here's my forge table. This forge came from Mom and Dad's house. It was under the fig tree in their backyard, planted with succulents, and was buried halfway into the ground under the fig tree, and there were fig tree roots growing over the legs, so I had to cut the legs off to get the forge out of the ground. But anyway, I rescued the forge. I'm using it for my forge table. And in the forge table is a nice deep blower. Nice deep fire pot. And around the fire pot I've lined it with bricks, just like I saw Jim Austin do, thinking it would help my forge welding. That hasn't really happened, but anyway, maybe it will someday. Anyway, so here's what I wanted to show in detail. And this is the air supply system that I just built. I've always used the Champion 400 hand crank blower to supply air to this forge, but recently I converted it to a electric blower supply. So here are the controls for the blower, an on-off switch to turn the blower power on-off, and then I have a slide gate control handle right here, so I can work the handle to work the slide gate back and forth. So the interesting part of this system is that it's made as an air diversion system. So instead of making an air dam that blocks the air or allows the air to go to the fire pot, it diverts the air either into the fire pot or out an exhaust pipe that exhausts the air to atmosphere. So you can see the inlet side of the air gate has a Y, and it diverts the air either or, depending on where the slide gate's positioned. And on the outlet side, there's two lines. One goes to the fire pot, one goes out and this exhausts to the air. And so the blower motor resides in a cabinet that is about 5 or 6 feet from the forge. There's a piece of shop vac hose going into a cabinet. This is a cabinet in my shop that the end cabinet has kind of been repurposed as a place for the blower to reside. So I've taken the door and I drilled a bunch of 1-inch holes to create a way for the air to get inside the cabinet. Inside the cabinet where the air blower resides, there's a spout blower right there. It's got its own little power switch, a short cord that's plugged into my the cord from the power switch on my forge, and around the blower, lining the inside of the cabinet, is an old yoga mat that's creating some sound insulation between the blower and the outside. That blower sounds like a vacuum cleaner when it's blowing on the outside, but in that cabinet, surrounded by that insulation and with the door closed, I can hardly hear it. So there's a cabinet, and there's the hose. You can see the power cord is actually wired tied to the bottom side of the shop vac hose. And here again is the control system. I'm going to go ahead and power it up so you can see how it works. So here's the on switch. So the blower's on now. Go ahead and... So there is a full flow of air. You can see I'm actually blowing some coke around inside there. So the blower is powerful enough so when it's on full blast, I can actually clear some clinker, molten clinker from around the air supply. So anyway, I think I have plenty of air. It works really well. The control is pretty accurate and pretty easy to use. I've been using this for a while. I put my first load of coke in here a couple of days ago and had a session with using coke instead of coal. It was really an improvement over what I'm used to. So anyway, I made this video so I could have some documentation of what I've done. Some guys had some questions, and I'm hoping to get some comments about how I might improve the system. If anybody has anything to say, please leave a comment. Thanks.